Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to design the Surgery Center database now that you've got all of your data in. So first thing we're going to want to do is go to Database Tool. We want to shut down everything. Shut down anything that you've opened. Then go to Database Tools and then go to Relationships. And then we're going to want to put all of the tables that we've used here. Now at this point it's good to have your Visio diagram ready to go in front of you so that you can look at the design. You want to make sure that the design that you implement is the design that you actually created in Visio. So I'm going to open it up here so we can see it, but first I've got patient and doctor. So I'm going to go patients, put that there, doctors there. Okay, and then I'm going to have to create a junction table so that I can join patients and doctors. So I'm going to go to create and I'm going to go to table, and I'm going to right click on this table, design view, and I'm going to call this patient doctor, and it's going to have two. It's going to have a patient ID and it's going to have a doctor ID. And I'm going to set these as short text because that's the way that the course designer did them, like that, so that it's a concatenated key. Then I'm going to shut that down, save it. Okay, and then this patient doctor table, I'm going to put that right here. And then I just need to join patient ID, enforce referential integrity, doctor ID, enforce referential integrity, and then I'm there. Okay, so now I've got this together. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is my appointments table. I have an appointments table, and if I look into my design here, I had appointments here. So, and that was into two one-to-many relationships, two appointments. So what I do there is I right-click on it, and I go to Table Design, and I go Patient ID as short text, and Doctor ID as short text. And I shut that down. And then what I have to do now is join up patient and doctor again. So I go to patient, goes on to patient, enforce referential integrity, and doctors goes on to doctors, doctor ID, enforce referential integrity, create. Great. So now I've created that portion of the database. The next thing I have to do is the many-to-many relationship between patients and procedure. And if I consult my Visio diagram, I've got patient procedures joined with a junction table called patient procedure. So what I do here is I go into Access, and I go Create, and I create a new table, which when I right-click on it, I go to Design View, and I call this patient procedure. And then I set these two primary keys I need. One was a patient ID, which is going to be set as short text, and procedure ID as short text. And then these have to be a concatenated key, so I hold the Shift key down and select both patient ID and procedure ID, and then click on primary key. Say yes. Okay. Now what I need to do is add patient procedure to the table, to the entity relationship diagram, and then join up patient ID to patient ID, procedure ID to procedure ID. And there you go. Now we've got the database designed. And you should be able to look into all of these tables here and see that you got all your data in, and there should be no errors when you click on things. And then you know that you've got database tools, relationships, you've got your database properly designed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut that down and save it. I'm going to shut down all any other files that I also had used within my database. And that's how you design it in Access.